And I had an instance to where we were at a nice course, and this man walked in front of me, put his clubs right in front of me, and told me just to make sure they're clean. And all I want to do is play golf. I wanted to know, what was your first impression when you walked into a car show? Assuming you're not ever been in one.
I was curious. I wanted to learn more. I'd only seen YouTube videos.
It's basically just my culture, the Chicano culture. Can you even afford to play here? They look at us like, what are you guys doing here,
Because if you go out there and shoot really well and you tell them, I'm probably like a 25 handicap, and you go out there and shoot really well,
sandbagger.
You're a sandbagger. And then they'll be like, Joe's not welcome back.
Yeah.
And it's not because of the way you look, it's because you're a cheater. This is Between Two Bags. I'm Aaron, the content creator behind Bogey 2-Putt, and today my guest is Tattoo Joe, and we're gonna talk about golf and some other things between two bags.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. I posted some ping irons on OfferUp, and it was like, I think 3 through pitching wedge. You sent me a text and you said, hey, are these still available?
Yes.
And I said, yeah, they're still available. I said, I'm in Torrance. Would you like to meet up? If you want to at least see them, just let me know. You're local, I'm local. We can just meet in Lawndale or something.
Yeah.
And so we end up meeting on the rooftop over by Golf Shack.
Which I didn't even know was there.
Yeah, it's an indoor hitting facility. And I remember I was actually there hitting, and you would text me and you said, hey, I'm here. And your text to me, though, right before that was, well, I'll take a look at them. So I meet you on the rooftop, and I wasn't actually sure that you were gonna buy them. And I thought it was interesting because your username on OfferUp was Tattoo Joe, and there was a picture of a car. And my photo on OfferUp is just golf balls and a golf club. And so didn't know what you look like, you didn't know what I look like. We were just meeting on the rooftop to maybe do a golf club deal.
Yeah.
I walk out of Golf Shack and I saw you walking towards me. Of course, I quickly looked at you up and down. And I started to make some minor assumptions about you. But very quickly, I was like, hey, he kind of looks like my wife's uncles.
Yeah.
Like you did. And so my guard kind of went away. And I'm just gonna tell you, I wasn't scared, I wasn't intimidated. I was actually more curious about why a guy like this would be interested in golf clubs.
Right.
I think that was my disconnect.
Yeah.
And so I would love to kind of flip the script on you a little bit and just get your take on me the first time you saw me.
That's funny because when we were going back and forth, I seen your posts on the pings, and I've played pings before, and I love them. Even though they're older set or whatever, I like them. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go check them out. And unbelievable price. I'm like, there's no way, they're probably just some old dirty ones.
Yeah.
And I seen you walking towards me when I got there. He's a normal guy that would look like he was selling me some clubs. And you had them in a box. I'm like, wait a minute, they're not brand new, are they? I don't know if you were kind of not timid, but you were cautious. You looked cautious because, of course, you don't want to look at somebody like me and just take your bag or take your clubs or something and just leave, because you don't never know. You're taking a risk because you're meeting somebody that you don't even know. But right away, I tried to make you feel comfortable about me just by explaining that I am a golfer. I had golf gloves in my car.
Yeah.
So right away, you could see that your guard was let down because we started talking about golf clubs right away.
Yeah.
So it was just it was normal after that. You know what I mean? We got past that assumption of who you were to who I was.
We did. We got past it really quickly, and I think that common bond thing was just golf.
Golf, yeah.
And I remember when you popped your trunk, right? Because I had said to you, I said, oh, they're in a box. I said, why don't you pop your trunk so we can lay the box on the trunk and you don't have to bend over and everything. And I remember you asked me about the box. You were like, why are they in a box?
Yeah.
And I said, well, it's just easier to carry them around this way.
Yeah.
And they came with the club head covers and everything. And I remember when you took the first club head cover off, you were like, oh my God, these things are almost brand new. I think I had told you hey, the grips probably eventually need to be replaced, but yeah, that's a really nice set. And then I remember you only looked at 2 clubs. Don't you want to look at the rest of them? And you're like, no, they're great. And I remember you had another set in your bag, in your trunk.
Tailor-mades, yeah.
Tailor-mades, and you had balls and hats. And I was like, dude, this guy's a golfer.
Yeah.
Not only is he's a golfer, but now he wants vintage ping golf clubs, which is a whole nother level of golfer. When I came home, my wife always asked me, so I had to go. And I said, you'll never guess who I met. And I said, you remember all those barbecues we went to in Pico Rivera, and all your uncles were there? I think Joe might be your uncle. And she just looked at me like, what? And I said, yeah. So that's really interesting. And I just wanted to kind of share with the viewers like how we actually connected and how we met.
Yeah.
And I think better yet, like we were able to kind of get past our bias and get past our assumptions.
The common thing between us was the golf.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't care, you know. I looked at the clubs right away, and like you said, I opened one up. I'm like, I didn't want to show my excitement.
I
And
raised the
like,
price on you.
I was like, man, oh, these are great,
Yeah.
you know. So I said, man, I'll take them. I didn't have to look at them any more than what I just seen. I mean, if the rest of them were like that, hey, I'm good to go.
One other thing I want to talk about is how this actually happened here today. We're actually sitting at Joe's house here, and I think that how this all happened was, I'll tell you, I was watching some videos of Tommy G on YouTube, and Tommy G has really inspired me lately to get out of my own comfort zone and to try and have conversations and genuinely get to know people that I might not ever approach. So Tommy G is a storyteller. And so I was watching one of his videos, and I was like, I think I want to do that with Between Two Bags. Like, I think I want to push the envelope a little bit, get out of my own comfort zone, and I want to try to find some golfers who you wouldn't expect that would be golfers.
Yeah.
I quickly thought of you. That's when I sent you the text on OfferUp, and I was like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm doing the show. Do you think it's something you might be interested in? And you were quick to be like, yeah, I would explore that with you. And then I'll tell you, when you invited me out to go play at Chester, Washington, I had a little hesitation. And I had a little hesitation because I still didn't know you. And you'd said, hey, like, we're teeing off at 7 a.m. I was like, this guy's getting up at 7 a.m. for 5:30 a.m. for a 7 a.m. tee time? Man, he must really love this game.
Yeah.
And so I met you out there. I was out hitting balls at 6:20, 6:30 in the morning. I'll tell you, I was a little anxious. And I was anxious because you said you were bringing a couple friends with you. And I didn't know the friends. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just this like unknown thing. But I trusted this thing called the golfer community to get my ass out of bed and come play with you guys. And I will tell you, it was one of the most fun 18 holes I've ever had here in LA.
Really?
Dude, Chester, Washington golf course, if you guys have never been and you're in LA, you definitely have to go check it out.
Nice course.
Nice course, LA vibes, oldies music playing in the background at 6
At the
a.m.
driving range.
At the driving
6 o'clock in
range,
the morning.
6 o'clock in the morning. Guys putting and chipping, and it's just so LA, and I just love it. I love playing there. I love chipping there and just hanging out there. And so to go spend 18 holes with you in 4 hours and 4+ hours playing some golf, like I really got a chance to like see your passion for the game.
But like you said, you were like kind of hesitant, you know, because you don't know us. But you were on the range already, and you see me walking up. And I'm pretty sure you could tell that I wasn't that guy that you met on the rooftop.
No.
I'm walking up. I'm a golfer.
There was a whole different just vibe and aura about you. It was welcoming and all of those things. And then when you introduced me to Chris and Dino, I was like, man, we're gonna have some fun today.
That's my group all the time. It's just us three all the time. But we're always bringing in other guys that can play, you know.
Yeah.
So we always have an extra spot.
Oh, okay.
So we kind of spread it around to different people, you know. Okay, we'll ask George to play, which is he's the one that taught me how to play golf. Or we'll have another guy, Danny, that I've known for a long time, and he golfs. Or you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's nice to know that spot exists and that I could join you again someday.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Oh, we're definitely going to do that again. We first started playing, my brother-in-law. I would always talk crap to him about playing golf. I said, man, what are you doing playing golf, man? You know, it's not a homeboys game or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, you got to try it. So my first time playing golf was actually at a tournament. Never played before. Took me to the range probably about one time just to show me how to hold the club.
Yeah.
And he gives me a set of bag. He gives me a bag with clubs, and they're probably old bags. And then when he set the bag down, it just kind of like a worn out sock that just hangs over. It just kind of did that. So we started laughing. I'm like, are you gonna make me play with these? So anyway, so we play, and I actually got off the tee, and that right there, hitting the ball and watching the ball go, I was just hooked. That was just it.
Did you hit the driver off the tee, or did you hit an iron or something?
Driver off.
You hit the driver off the tee.
Hit the driver off.
You picked the hardest club in the bag
to swing.
to swing, and you
Now,
got
I don't know how
success.
far it got.
Yeah.
You know, probably maybe 100-something yards, whatever. But I didn't care.
Yeah.
The hardest part is because you got people that are just looking at you, and especially if you've never played.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So once we did that, it was just over with. I just kept on going. Then to get my own set, and
It's really interesting how your initial mindset was, man, guys like us don't play this game,
Exactly.
right? To, man, I think I kind of love this game. And it happened pretty quick.
It happened real quick.
How many years ago was that?
Probably about 20 years ago.
That's awesome. When you show up at the range or you show up to play, you're Tattoo Joe. You've got a look, you've got a vibe, you got like just everything about you is truly unique, which I think is a beautiful thing, by the way. But the golfer community, I would just call it stuffy and rules and etiquette. Do you feel like you fit in, or does that not even matter to you?
In the beginning, I didn't.
Yeah.
Because we got looked at a lot. Because we were playing courses out like, we were playing Los Serranos, Prado,
Yeah.
Mountain View. We were going out to places that, The Rock, we played there. And these were some higher paying courses you have to play.
Yeah.
So, of course, they looked at us, can you even afford to play here? They look at us like, what are you guys doing here,
Yeah.
And I had an instance to where we were at a nice course, and this man walked in front of me, put his clubs right in front of me, and told me just make sure they're clean. I didn't react. Because it was just I couldn't believe this guy did that.
Yeah.
Just by looking at me thinking I work there or something, or I'm just some whatever, that he didn't think I was a golfer. I was ready to tee off in a little while.
How did you control your emotions at that point? Like, how did you how did you check yourself?
I just let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, because for one, we're at a golf course and I wanted to play my, so I didn't want to be angry about what he just did. I just ignored it. I said, man, this guy does not know, maybe ignorant or something. You know? I don't know. I don't know the guy. So I just let it go.
Have you always been that way, to let things go? Or is that something that happens later in life?
I think later in life you get that way.
Yeah.
You don't want to be quick to assume something or react to something, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what the other person is going to react. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Like, for me, it really upsets me when people are treated poorly. But I often hear stories of the people who are treated poorly learn to just let it go.
You do.
That's an amazing skill. I admire it. I really do.
It's hard because I guess because you've been going through it for so long, for so many years, people looking at you and walking across the street because they see you coming.
Yeah.
Or they look the other way. They don't even want to look at you or greet you or anything like that. You can't even probably get into some places, because if you see me walking in a pro shop, they're like, oh, what's this guy doing here, And all I want to do is play golf. All I want to do is get me around, buy a sleeve of balls, and go out there and enjoy the game that I like. You know what I mean? That I love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, Joe, what's the story behind the tattoos and these beautiful cars?
This is basically just my culture, the Chicano culture. With the low ridings and bombs, and which actually these are called bombs.
And where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Compton, California.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this part of it, you grow up with it, you know what I mean? Your parents and your cousins and your friends, your homeboys, they got tattoos and, they drive nice cars. And I said, when I was growing up, that's what I want to have when I grow up. I started tattooing probably at the age of 13.
Oh, wow.
So I'll be 60, so that's 40-something years, 45, 46 years maybe.
Yeah.
That's what that's what you do, it's part of living. That's part of the culture of the life, you know what I mean? We brought you along to kind of experience that yourself,
You did.
And I don't know, I wanted to know, what was your first impression when you walked into a car show? Assuming you're not ever been in one.
I'll share with you why I even reached out around the car show thing. Was after we had played golf and we had some lunch together and just kind of got to know each other a little bit, I realized how passionate and how important all of this was to you and life and your journey and everything that you're doing. And I was curious. I wanted to learn more. And I'd only seen YouTube videos, right? Or I see the cars bouncing online or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so social media kind of piqued my interest. But I think that I wanted to go and see it and hear it and feel it and smell it. And then I said to my wife, hey, I'm headed to Santa Anita Park, the infield, they're having a big car show. And she's like, you're going where? You're doing what? I said, listen, if I'm gonna spend time with Tattoo Joe, I need to go get in the middle of this thing.
Yeah.
So I drive out there and I get there, and right when, and not even as I entered, I could hear the oldies music, and I could hear the old school hip hop. And like, I'm just gonna tell you, but like, we just talked about like judging each other. I guarantee you would never think that like I was an old school hip hop just junkie. From the Beastie Boys to Run DMC to LL Cool J to Grandmaster Flash, like I can sing these songs
Word for word.
word for word. And it's just because I grew up here and that's just what we
Yeah.
listened to. And so when I walked into the car show and I heard the music, I was like, yeah, right? And then I got a little closer, and then I got a little closer. I paid my $5, walked through the tunnel, right?
Walked through the
Walked
tunnel.
through the tunnel. And then when I came out of the tunnel, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be fun.
Just cars everywhere.
Cars
People
everywhere,
everywhere.
people everywhere.
Having a good time.
Having a good time. And there were kind of two things I thought about. One was, how the hell am I gonna find Joe here?
Yeah.
That was my first question. It's not like there was a map and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, Joe's house is here.
Yeah,
Like,
or ping me or wherever I'm at or
I had
somewhere.
no idea where you were, and I was like, this place is huge. I didn't realize it was going to be that big. I also didn't realize that the horse races were happening at the same time.
Yes.
So people were like at the car show betting on the ponies while the ponies were running over here, and there's just a lot going on.
Yeah.
I loved it, every minute of it.
You would be surprised how many different cultures are into lowriders, different people from different backgrounds
Yeah.
in this club.
But I'm finding though that finding those common bonds, right, of cars, of golf, of whatever it is, it really breaks down barriers.
Yeah, it is like golf. If you're into this type of thing, you gravitate towards those kind of people, you know what I mean? I just wish at the time when I started golf that it was more accepted for us
Yeah.
than we are accepted of different people in the lowrider culture.
Yeah.
You're automatically accepted because of the love for the cars.
I do have a question. Were you surprised to see me there that day?
Yes.
You were?
I didn't think you were gonna go. So when you did come and say, hey, I'm here. I'm like, oh shit, okay, where you at? You know, I'll tell you how to come over here, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was really glad you did show up because I wanted you to see that part of somebody's life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That because when you do talk to people that are play golf, you only talk about golf.
Yep.
You don't really get to know somebody, you know, what their background is. Like when you told me you were married a Mexican girl, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think you know, see that you would do something like that, you know.
Yep.
But that's beautiful.
That's
great.
And the story behind that and really just my appreciation and just love of the Mexican culture, like it really started when I was a kid growing up in Fullerton. You know, my parents divorced when I was 2. And, you know, my mom worked and she worked for LA Unified School District and
Yeah.
she was gone until probably 6 o'clock at night. And the Miramontes family down the street, I feel like they raised me. It was 8 brothers and sisters, mom and dad. Dad was Sergio, mom was Sofia, and I would go there after school so I wasn't home alone. And so I'll tell you, my best friend growing up was Chuy Miramontes.
And the culture, our culture, we take anybody, you know what I mean? No matter who it is
Yeah.
or where you're at.
Yeah.
If you need somewhere to go, we're gonna invite you in. We're gonna feed you.
Yep.
We're gonna let you sleep here. Yeah,
And-
yeah.
and-
We're gonna make sure you eat.
That was one thing that used to piss my mom off, and rest in peace, Mom. She used to get really upset at me because I would eat with the Miramontes around 4:30. So because they had so many kids in a small kitchen, they ate in 2 shifts. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So they ate at 4:30, and then the older kids ate at like 5:30 or 6. And so I would eat with the youngers at like 4:35 or whatever. And listen, man, like she had homemade tortillas and like
all that good
asada and
stuff.
beans. Like, oh my God, it was so good. And then I would go home at like 6:30, and my mom would make dinner, and I wouldn't eat.
Oh,
And she's like, did you eat at the Miramontes again? I said, Mom, I eat there every day. I go home from school, I'm starving.
Yeah.
And so Sophia always makes us stuff, but
Yeah,
one of the kids makes us food. But like Chewy and I used to go, like when nobody was home, Chewy and I would go in and we would make tortillas with butter.
oh,
Dude, it's the best thing ever. So when we first met to actually play around together, you paid for my golf. What made you want to do that?
you're a guest. You're our guest. Something to show you that we're good people, no matter what we look like or how we act, dress, or whatever.
I was really surprised by it because I was in line just ready to put my card down and pay. And you're like, no, I got it. It was really interesting for you to pay because I even went home and my wife was like, so how'd it go? You know? And I was like, it was great. And I was like, he paid for my golf. She's like, I don't think anyone's ever paid for your golf. And I'm like, no one's ever paid for my golf. So thank you for paying for my round.
No problem.
I'm paying for your next round. And what I want to do when the timing all works is I want to invite you out to a SoCal Golf Guys tournament match. And you'll
Sure.
be my guest
Okay.
and we'll go play. And you're playing for money.
Okay. Oh,
So
wow.
before we go out and compete, and we're gonna be like playing partners, you got to have your handicap, because if you go out there and shoot really well, and you tell them, I'm probably like a 25 handicap, and you go out there and shoot really well,
Sandbagger.
you're a sandbagger, and then they'll be like, Joe's not welcome back.
Yeah.
And it's not because of the way you look; it's because you're a cheater. So, anyways, I would love to go do that with you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right,
Let's
cool.
do that.
What do you get out of being on the course?
It's just a really calm feeling you get because the fresh air, the grass, there's no noise unless we're playing our music, you know. A lot of people don't like to play music. And I never did play music, you know, until I started playing with Dino. And Dino brings his little boom box, you know. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I started noticing other players that, you know, don't play with us, you know, other people have radios. So I don't know if it's a thing now or people are doing it or whatever, but
Personal
know,
choice, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I asked you,
You
when
did?
we played, I said, hey, do you mind? And you're like,
Yeah.
you like quiet. So, and I respect that because I asked you, I didn't just do it, but I did ask.
I love that you asked me, and then when I gave you my honest answer, you weren't bothered by it.
No.
Because Dave and I know somebody who's been a little upset at asking if they can play music during a tournament, by the way. And I'm looking at the camera for a specific reason, because he asked me if he could play music, and I said, listen, like, we're in a tournament right now. I just want to be able to focus, and I would appreciate it if you didn't play the music. He did not take that answer well. I think it's funny, though, when we were playing together, you asked me, you're like, so what are some of your pet peeves on the golf course? And I was like,
remember asking
man,
that.
Joe set me up here. And so I told Joe that one of my pet peeves was when people say, hey, good shot, when it wasn't a good shot, or hey, good putt, and it never went in the hole, right? And so I remember I told you that, and then I think probably like the next hole or whatever, I putted and it lipped out, and Chris actually said, oh, great putt, and it just lipped out.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you looked at me and I was like, ah.
I wanted to see your reaction, you know. I wanted to see, because I know, because I looked at I looked at one of your videos and you did say, you know, your pet peeve about that. That's why I asked you, because you mentioned that you play a lot by yourself and you play with other people.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that because I don't know how they're going to act or how they're going to react to me.
Yeah.
But you're okay with that. Can't see how you can do that so comfortably. You know what I mean?
There's a couple of things there. I think one is, how do I explain it? I think that when you show up at the tee box and you're like a single, there's definitely a dogs sniffing each other moment. Everyone's checking each other out. They're looking at what they're wearing.
I didn't know how to dress when we first started playing. I didn't know what the attire was. I didn't know what you were supposed to do, or golf shoes.
Yeah.
So our brother out said, yeah, you got to get collar shirts, you know, and he has some real nice shirts on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'll go. I went to the swap meet
Yeah.
and got me these striped shirts, but it had a collar. So I thought I was fly, you know, I thought
Yeah.
it was cool, looking good.
Yeah.
But you could tell that it wasn't what people were wearing. It was kind of a different thing, you know. But
You-
they couldn't tell me nothing because I had a collared shirt.
You check the box.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting about that, about attire, is so I started Bogey 2-Putt on Instagram as a way to learn the game, because I'm a baseball player turned golfer. I didn't
Yeah.
know anything about golf, and so I created my Instagram account to try to understand the rules better, the etiquette better, what to wear. I didn't think the golf shoes were that different until I was out there playing in baseball shoes. That was the first thing.
Oh, wow.
Like, and this is not that long ago, because I've only
Yeah.
been playing 3.5 years. And so, but then when it came to the attire and what to wear, I'm just going to tell you, man, there was no way I was spending $100 on a polo. There's no way I was going to spend $80 on pants or what. Like, I wasn't going to do it. I'll tell you what I've been doing. And this is like a little cheat code here. Go to Salvation Army and go to Goodwill in the South Bay.
Oh, really?
There are so many golfers that bring their used stuff into those places. I'm not kidding you. You will find Travis Matthews shirts. This Puma shirt that I'm wearing, I thrifted for $4.99.
Get out of here.
Retail, it's an $80 shirt.
Wow.
So I'm just going to tell you, there's a Goodwill in Manhattan Beach, straight down Artesia,
Okay.
all the way towards the water. There's a Goodwill right there. Dude, you will find golf shorts, golf shirts for $4 or $5.
Everything.
And they're
you
like
need.
nearly brand new. You wash them up and they're good as new.
Yeah.
So cheat code on that one, you don't have to spend a ton of money to look nice out there,
Well-
because I don't.
Well, that's where the swap meet came in there.
Yeah.
You know, I bought a shirt, 10, 15 bucks. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
nice shirts. I still have them. You know, I'll wear them once in a while. Once I started playing with Dino and Chris, Dino started giving me shirts. He gave me this shirt, this LA shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, those are nice shirts. So I felt that I had to up my dress code. If you look good, you feel good,
Yeah, definitely.
right? Felt that was a thing, you know what I mean? You know, going out there, you look nice, you know, whatever, and you just feel good playing, you know?
Yep. I think that we're allowed to go out there and look good and feel good. I just don't think that anybody needs to spend full retail on this stuff. It's totally unnecessary. And I'm going to tell you, this tailor-made bag right here, I bought it at the Torrance Pawn Shop 2 days ago. How much do you think I paid for that bag?
I don't know, 80 bucks?
$40 cash. And new, it's a $250 bag.
Wow.
Literally brand new. Couple
It
little
is brand
scuffs.
new.
And I bought it because I wanted a stand bag.
That's nice.
But I'm not spending $250 on a stand bag.
No.
I spent $40 cash, and the guy was so happy to get rid of it. But there's a pawn shop in Torrance, everybody. There's a pawn shop in Torrance that brings in golf clubs. It's a good spot.
A couple of guys asked me about this bag, and they said, man, that's a really nice bag. Where'd you get it? You know, because it has some kind of insignia back here.
Yeah, the Sapporo.
The Sapporo, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. Well, Dino gave it to me. He gave it to
okay.
me for my birthday. He gave me a whole set.
Oh, wow.
You know? So I was really happy about it. You know, I had gave my old set to my grandson because he wanted to play.
Okay.
Because I wasn't playing at the moment.
Yeah.
So they were just sitting there, and he said, hey, Grandpa, you know, can I borrow your clubs? Kind of kept them after they never brought them back.
Ah. Joe, if someone's watching this and they feel like they don't fit in this whole golfer community, what would you say to them?
I'll say just ignore it. Just go out there and enjoy the game. Don't worry about what's going on around you. Just go and enjoy the game. It'll change your life.
I would love to know, like, what kind of legacy do you want to leave for yourself on or off the golf course?
I don't know about a legacy, but if somebody talks about me or whoever, you know, and they say, you know, that guy wasn't too bad. You know, he was pretty cool. You know, that's it. I'm not looking to be, you know, a statue put in front of the Chester Washington golf course or nothing like that, you know. I'm not looking for nothing like that, but
yeah.
just say, hey, you know, that guy used to come over here, you know, he was pretty cool. You know what I mean? He treated us off okay.
I have to tell you that the more time I spend with you on the golf course, at a car show, in your garage, I feel like I made a friend.
Oh yeah, I have too.
And seriously, man, like
Yeah.
this has been so much fun. I learned so much about you. And I would really like to go compete with you in a SoCal Golf Guys tournament.
I'm there.
Right on, man. Well, thank you so much.
No problem.
Cool.